So we have gameplay information for Wizards Unite, but it's not just the official website that has released information. We have IGN, Eurogamer, Techcrunch as well. So watch this video and we'll take the best from each website and put it all together for you in a TLDR fashion. So watch now. Okay, so today was a nice quiet day until my Discord exploded again. WooTubers all over the place, sending links. My caterwauling charm went off on my phone, and yeah, all the craziness ensued. And just as I was actually writing this video, more information was coming out from different websites. Much of it is repeated. So if you want to know just the bits from each one which is different, we're going to start with the official website. So on the website we have a few sections, each with a little video, and we're going to go through each bit. So the first section, play your part in the wizarding world. A calamity has befallen the wizarding world, causing artifacts, creatures, people and even memories to mysteriously appear in the muggle world. Witches and wizards from across the globe must come together to solve the mystery of the calamity. Overcome the confounding chaotic magic that surrounds these Foundables and return them to their rightful place, keeping them safe from muggle eyes. Your journey begins as a new recruit of the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, established by the Ministry of Magic and the International Confederation of Wizards for the purpose of investigating and containing the calamity. So play your part. So this includes artifacts, creatures, people, which we kind of worked out already, but we also have memories. With memories, it kind of reminds me of the whole Snape scene, looking back and reliving his memories. I think this could be the way of revealing the calamity story to us. The video we are shown shows Ron, and it looks like it's a training video showing you actually how to play the game. There are some mechanics in there which we see later, which are not in that video, so it looks like it's a tutorial. So, training with our main characters. Theory confirmed. Interesting, we see Ron at the age at the end of the movies, rather than his age he would be now. So timelines could be quite interesting. So our second section, magic is all around you. As you step outside and explore the world, the map will reveal traces of magic, highlighting the location of magic Foundables. While these traces can be found all around you, certain Foundables may be found likely to appear at various types of real-world locations, including parks, banks, municipal buildings, college campuses, libraries, monuments, zoos, art galleries, and more. Cast a variety of spells to overcome the confoundable magic, keep the magic Confoundables safe, and send them back to the wizarding world. By returning Foundables, you'll earn unique rewards that can be tracked in the game registry. As you cast spells, you'll consume spell energy. Oh no! Be sure to regularly top up buy-ins found at muggle locations around the world. Yay! To collect food and drinks that replenish your spell energy. Thank God I didn't take that from Hogwarts Mystery. While exploring, you'll also come across ingredients that can be used to brew potions, which will aid in different aspects of your Wizarding World journey. These ingredients can be found on the map, varying by the environment, weather, and time of day, as well as in specifically designed greenhouses. Make sure you also keep an eye out for portmanteaus, which can be unlocked to reveal portkeys that whisk your way to iconic Wizarding World locations. For the first time, you'll be able to step into a full 360-degree advanced AR immersive experience in places like Ollivander's One Shop. So break that down a little bit. Parks, banks, municipal buildings, college campuses, libraries, monuments, zoos, art galleries, and more where we'll find different types of encounters. Now, as part of the approval process for points of interest, you do actually categorize each point of interest in these sort of ways. So that's how Niantic knows what a library is and what a college is. So we catch a Foundable, we get rewards. I was guessing that's probably depending on how hard it is to catch. Energy system, but it can be recharged at inns. which is our first confirmed point of interest type. We will have INS, potion ingredients in the wild. This is what I was hoping for from day one. If you check my really early videos, which were very terrible, that was a want. I wanted to be able to pick potion ingredients and make potions. More details coming later about potions. Very interesting. So these ingredients can be found on the map, varying by the environment, weather and time of day, as well as in specially designed greenhouses. Later on we find out that a greenhouse is a POI type. So we have inns and greenhouses. And I know what a portmanteau is. It is the box that Remus Lupin used to pack his things when he left Hogwarts. That wonderful animation, we're all going together and closing. That's a portmanteau. The video that goes along with this section, it looks like we are stepping through a portal to a Ministry of Magic office. If you look as you go through the portal, you'll see a window, but behind that window is like office buildings with other windows, just like inside the Ministry itself. Okay, next section is Stronger United. Test your combat skills by visiting one of the multiple fortresses indicated on the map. Fortresses are host to wizarding challenges, real-time multiplayer battles against dangerous foes, including Death Eaters and soul-sucking Dementors. You won't want to face these threats alone. Gather your friends to take on these threats of even higher levels and recover rarer magical Foundables from within the fortress walls. To further develop your wizarding skills, you can also choose to specialise in different magical professions. Auras, Magizoologists and Professors each have their own unique skills and abilities that will come in handy at different times, particularly during wizarding challenges. Team up and strategize with witches and wizards from other professions to tip the scales in your favour. So our third point of interest type is a fortress. Team up against dark foes. This is not PvP. This is us teaming up against foes. More details are in other articles from other gaming companies. So as we go through this video, this information will build up and you'll get a really good idea of how this actually goes together. So the name for these encounters are wizarding challenges. So fortresses which have wizarding challenges. And then we have Foundables. Okay, this is our glossary of terms we have to build up. So our class types are auras, Magizoologists and Professors. Theory confirmed. We have skill sets. So you can specialise in one, you can actually do multiple, hint for later on in the video, and you can combine skills and during wizarding challenges. So now you can pre-register on Google Play. Just to note that Apple does not have a pre-registry system, so it doesn't mean it won't be out on iOS. So don't panic. This has happened before, where Google have the pre-registry system, but it was released on Google. Well, it was released on Apple and iOS at the same time, so don't panic, okay? So our second website we go to is Eurogamer. A bit more information here, okay? So our class types are expanded a little bit more. So the aura is best at spell casting and defeating dark wizards. Magizoologist is a tanky support, best at tackling magical beasts. And Professor, a class with a deep magical knowledge, so probably some advanced spells. So far our encounters have been magical objects appearing in the real world, but actually things will also be disappearing. A quote from the website says, "A teaser for the game I saw mentioned the mysterious vanishing of a group named the London Five. Gameplay shown includes lots of chatter between new NPCs, while Niantic promised we'll be seeing plenty of familiar faces from the Wizarding World pop up too." So our things will be appearing and things will be disappearing as well. Not quite sure how that'll play out, but we'll see. So Eurogamer goes on to say, Foundables are littered across the map like Pokemon, and appears as icons reflecting the type of encounter they contain. It could be a trapped demiguise, as seen in Fantastic Beasts, which you must cast Alohomora to free, or it could be an enemy like a Death Eater or a werewolf, or a vision of a creepy Dementor attacking a Prisoner of Azkaban era Harry Potter, which you'll need to defeat. Now there is an interesting thing around timelines here. The calamity isn't in present, it is actually combining things in timelines. So you could see a very young Dumbledore appearing, for example. Is another hint to the IGN, I think, information which is coming a little bit later. So yeah, keep watching, don't go away just right now. More information for each aspect of the game is coming. Okay. Encounters begin by lining up an AR reticule to lock onto the Foundable, then feature a series of spellcasting movements to be copied via the touchscreen. The tougher the encounter, the more of these you'll need, as you wave your wand to cast spells to attack and then quickly swipe to protego yourself when you need to defend. So it is the trace the thing on the screen, and then there is like a swipe to cast protego. If you look at the footage, you'll see that things will slow down, give you a chance to cast. Okay, so that's quite a neat feature. A bit more information. There is a reward based upon your accuracy of these tracings, which will be revealed a little bit later as we progress. Once defeated, they'll be logged into the registry. Care of Magical Creatures, Dark Arts, Hogwarts School, Legends of Hogwarts, Ministry of Magic, Magizoology, Magical Games and Sports, Mysterious Artifacts. I'm really looking forward to Legends of Hogwarts. That'd be pretty cool. Also, Wonders of the Wizarding World and Oddities. And yes, these are the icons we saw in Trailer 3. Another theory confirmed. You'll find their spawns are tied to weather, time of day, biome, but also, cleverly, moon phase. Want a werewolf encounter? Yes, you absolutely will need to go out at night when it is full moon. Also, as we unlock the registry, more of the story unfolds as to what the calamity is. See, I thought this would be revealed as like a group thing, like through video, so like YouTube. So we'd all be sort of progressing together, but it looks like we could be a little bit out of phase depending on your progress in the game. Runestones are required to unlock fortresses, and they have dungeon type floors that your team needs to progress through. Each floor or room of a fortress has a set of enemies within it, some better suited to your class than others. It's on you to unite as a team of witches and wizards with skill points in different classes, so your aura can take on that Death Eater while your Magizoologist takes on those pixies. Players pick an enemy they want to fight until either there are none left, time runs out, or your party is defeated. Complete one floor and it's on to the next, with rewards and difficulty ramping up as we progress. So anyone else played World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, you kind of recognise some of these mechanics. Other games also available. So the next thing, when creating your profile, you get to snap a photo of yourself and apply Harry Potter themed clothing and accessories onto your head, some of which will be earned through in-game achievements. A bit more information on this is that your ID badge will have a moving image. Pretty cool, huh? So now moving on to IGN. So talking about points of interest. You will be jumping into either an inn or a greenhouse. The former giving you food, which powers your magic, and the latter offering ingredients for potions that you can brew on your way to usurping the Half-Blood Prince's status. So there's a bit more information on the greenhouses. So they're a bit like, I think, like Pokestops. We can spin them. You spin the greenhouse and you'll get some random allocation of potion ingredients. Right, so a bit more expansion on our terms here. Every Foundable comes with a Confoundable, a complicating factor that you need to free it from to save and archive it. With the Hippogriff, which is the Foundable, the Confoundable is the ball and chain shackling the poor beast, which you must trace the spell over with your finger to break. Yes, you are given the spell. You don't have to memorize the spell, okay? You are marked on your skill on how accurately and quickly you perform these spells and in freeing a Foundable. Players are rewarded with stickers related to those items. Collect enough of those stickers in your registry and you eventually unlock the ability to pull that Foundable into a photo AR mode and pose with it. So, just like all those Pokemon Go features waited years for will be in there from launch. In addition to unlocking these stickers, rescuing Foundables also awards you with different runes based on the type of Foundable. There are 10 categories in total, from sports and games to Hogwarts to Magizoology and more, and each category has its own rune. These runes, each of which have their own level, come into play in Wizards Unite Take on Pokemon Gym's fortresses. So again, this is a link into the runestones. This is how we get a runestone through our day-to-day Foundable encounters. I've got to get used to all these terms. So moving on to fortresses again. So these are where some of the more communal aspect of Niantic's design philosophy come into play. Think of them as multi-level dungeons with up to 5 people in synchronous play. Players can jump into timed encounters on each floor of a fortress. This is where players will unlock some of the rarest items in the registry, as you engage in duels with wizards, werewolves, vampires, baby basilisks, and even some familiar faces. It goes on to say, while I didn't face any of them myself, there is a clear implication that a few famous Death Eaters and more could appear in game. You can use potions in mid-combat to heal yourself or improve your spells too. So now we're going back onto port keys again. Port keys can only be activated after walking a certain distance with Wizards Unite. After doing so, you can place the port key, a boot, much like the one used in Goblet of Fire for my demo, in the physical space around you via the game's AR. Once placed down, you can physically walk to that point and step into a new location, one plucked from many very famous locales of the wizarding world. For the demo, I hopped into Ollivander's one shop for a bit to catch Raxburts and gain some bonus XP and items. Why there would be Raxburts in Ollivander's, and they're kind of mythical, but anyway, that's pretty cool way of getting bonuses. So Techcrunch goes on to talk a little bit more about how the calamity works. So it says, conveniently, the event, being the calamity, snatched these things and people from all throughout history and the world, laying them down willy-nilly, so you're just as likely to find Fleur de la Cour as Hermione Granger or a young Dumbledore as an old one. I did wonder how they would get around Dumbledore's death and stuff like that. So it looks like, yes, the calamity spans time, not just locations, which is pretty cool. So in the US, you can get Dumbledore, etc., etc. And of course, for using port keys from the US, you can get to London and stuff like that. So there is a form of like apparition, which people were talking about, and I thought, nah, that wouldn't happen. But in some way, shape, or form, it kind of exists. And time, more time stuff. You interact with these locations as you would spin Pokestops in Go, with inns and greenhouses, giving you a semi-randomized reward every time, and starting a 5-minute cooldown, which we are very familiar with. We know that. Encounters and ingredients pop up like Pokemon did, appearing semi-randomly, but with some tendencies or affinities. So our encounters and ingredients are randomly spawned, okay? You don't have to go to a point of interest to get one. And it goes on to say about the encounters, you're more likely to find school-related Foundables by actual schools and so on. Now, schools cannot be points of interest. So I don't know why they switched to having Foundables there, but we'll have to see. These places are helpfully noted by a little flag that highlights the affected area, such as Golden Gate Park. You will encounter more magical creatures here. So a little bit more new information coming. The equivalent to lures are dark detectors, which will cause encounters to pop up more frequently around the location you attached it to, and you can stack them. There will no doubt be a popular purchase. Time and found things, for instance, healed allies, debuffed enemies, improved potion effectiveness, etc. And a little anime gif showing you some of the skill tree. We don't actually know what any of those icons mean yet. Moving on again to fortresses. They are large, obvious locations on the map where you and up to 4 other players can join battle against a host of enemies in order to receive rare Foundables and other rewards. How this works is that you and whoever else wants to play get within range of the fortress and tap it. They didn't provide any images of one inside or out, but you can see the roof of one just at the top left of the pole circle in the map image above. So back to runestones. We're jumping around a lot. Back to runestones again. There are 10 different kinds with multiple rarities, and depending on which you use or which combination your team presents, the fortress will have any of a variety of challenges and encounter types. The person here only is for combat. So depending on your runes, which I guess depends on the type of encounters you've been doing, which will also then depend on what your strengths are, that fortress will configure itself to those runes, as he kind of tailor that fortress to your strengths, I guess. So moving on to combat within the fortress, it says this is where the combat complexity comes in, because all the enemies are presented to all the players at once, and you can take on whichever you choose. Have you leveled your magical creatures taming? You better take on that hippogriff. Do extra damage against human foes? You are on Death Eater duty. Stocked up on spells that hinder opponents or heal allies? You can use them from the select screen in real time For instance, if your friend is about to be knocked flat by a high-level Dementor and needs a hand. So this is very reminiscent of MMO combat. I'm really quite looking forward to doing this. I think we can make some good friends. So it's 5 people to take on a fortress. You have multiple levels, you have your multiple skills, and whatever runestones you use to unlock it will then tailor the configuration of that fortress. 5 people, so we need 5 good friends locally. I know one that plays Pokemon Go around here. I need to make some more, but luckily for me, I am not afraid of chatting to random people, so hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. Whether they want to play with me or not is another question. So that's it. So that's the best from the websites that have released information so far, and they had an hour-long demo with Niantic. Lucky them. And this is the best from each website, and we try to make a bigger picture as we can for you with as much detail. So to summarize, we have Foundables, which are like things caused by the calamity. Foundables can be people, objects, whatever. So for every foundable, you have a confoundable, and that is the thing that you need to defeat to be able to unlock or free your foundable. So say the hippogriff, you need to unlock the ball and chain thing to free the hippogriff. So that's your confoundable for your foundable. I hope you're keeping up with this so far. We have 3 classes. Auras, which are like your DPS. Magizoologists, which work well with animals and kind of a bit like tanky people. And professors, which are highly skilled in their spells, so I guess they have a higher spell effectiveness. We have our Mathias box, which is probably not pronounced properly, but whatever. So you kind of walk so long to unlock your Mathias, and you can then release your port key. It'll take you into a bonus area where you can rummage around, little rooms like Ollivanders, and get extra bonus stuff. We have 3 POI types. We have inns for replenishing your energy. We have greenhouses, which seem to let you spin them and they give you potion ingredients and things like that. And then we have the fortresses. That's the one. And that's where you do your dungeon encounters with your 5 friends. The skill of the accuracy of your trace and how fast you do it denotes how much energy that spell has, and you also have blocking as well. So that's about it in a nutshell. From all like the big tech websites, hopefully I have kind of TLDR'd that all for you, and you have the best from each website. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, which is where I released like my panicky tweet when it first came out. And don't forget to brush up on your spells, for sure. Get your ones ready. Wizards Unite.